introduce yourself and tell us about the event that you have coming up at the
Sure.
comic book store.
Well, my name is Jason Faunt, and am most heavily known for the role of Wes Collins in Power Rangers Time Force as the Red Ranger. That started in 2001. And since I was on the show, they've brought me back 5 times now. So I came back for Wild Force. I came back for Mega Force, Ninja Steel. And then, so all in, there's been 5 different reappearances by my character, the last being only several years ago. Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun.
And is that the Legend of the White Dragon one that you were in that one too?
Yeah.
I
Legend of the White Dragon is its own intellectual property. That'll be separate. There's
Okay.
obviously some winks and nods in there, but it's a brand new movie that stars Power Rangers, but has nothing to do with the franchise.
Interesting.
Yeah, so much more mature, darker version. So some of your favorite heroes that you watched, seeing them in a whole different light. Yeah,
Okay. Awesome.
they got that huge Power Ranger bid for all the suits today, which is interesting.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It's going now. Some of these suits that were worn are selling for $17,000, $18,000. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
I
That's
know.
like that's more money than well, anyway.
Well, I don't know who's buying them, but like this Heritage auction went live, and I had to have it in the background because it's kind of fascinating to see all
Sure.
the props and the helmets, and everything's going for thousands of dollars. And so it's kind of sad that they didn't, want to give this to some of us, but I guess they're gonna make their money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there like old like training like Green Range, like Jason David Frank and different ones like that they're selling, or are they more like modern?
Oh yeah, it's live. It just curls through.
Wow.
I mean, it's just going to keep going at the bottom. So
Hmm.
all these things, it's just guns and helmets and suits and stuff worn by us. My stuff's coming up here in maybe like an hour. I'm kind of curious to see what it does because
Awesome.
it's stuff we wore. So anyway, let's dive in to our
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
How does it make you feel to be a part of something like that though? That's such a big, huge thing for. I mean, every like it spans across such a wide range of ages. Power Rangers itself. Yeah.
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 It's amazing. And when we did the show, I started back in 2001, and it was a job I booked. I was waiting tables, I was bartending, and I was just happy to not do that anymore. Even though I actually loved bartending, so much fun. But
Sure.
I moved across the country from Chicago to go after this dream, and then it worked. And then when the show ended a year later, I thought, okay, I'll move on to the next job.
Yeah.
That'll be it. But here we are, almost 25 years later, and it's bigger than ever. And I'm still traveling the world, so I feel very, very fortunate, very, very blessed. Sometimes I keep saying I must have done something right in a previous life. Yeah.
I mean, you had to have. You get to be a Power Ranger. Did you watch Power Rangers when you were a kid?
I was a little older when I got the job. I was 27, so I was already in college when it started. So I was familiar with it. I knew all about it, but didn't actively watch it until I booked the job. Yeah.
That's fair. I guess I didn't think about. See, I was a kid. Power Rangers in the '90s when they first came out. That was like my brother was Power Ranger. I was the Yellow Ranger. We played. It was a thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool, especially now because I had to go back and look because I didn't follow it through all the years after I got older. And my
Uh-huh.
son is 10, so he kind of missed like the resurgence, of
Yeah.
Power
Yeah.
Rangers. So I guess just I kind of followed Jason David Frank though, and so I did get some updates throughout time. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, also obviously was looking through doing some stuff, and I was gonna say happy early birthday because I guess we share a birthday.
The same day?
Yeah, the 20th.
All right, my fellow Scorpio.
Yeah, it's Scorpio season.
It is Scorpio season.
And then I am super into horror, and so obviously am aware of your, like Witch House and Totem, and I was kind of go look
I
at that stuff.
love it.
Yeah. Do you have any fun memories from those? Because I feel like that'll be what the horror fans will be poking me if I didn't ask.
Yeah, it was my first movies. And
Yeah.
they were like, I booked the job and it was like, hey, we're gonna fly you to Romania to have this little, Drew Barrymore type part in this thing. And they're, what's funny is Full Moon Productions is become its own little cult favorite.
Definitely.
And I just go, this is so crazy because it was, they're like a little fun movie. The monsters are kind of awkward and weird, but like that's part of the fun of it.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so it was so much fun to do that. And David Dakota is a very good friend of mine. We do continue movies together to this day, and it's fun. I mean, you look back on them and you watch them and you go, but you know what? That's the fun part of being an actor. We're not
Yeah.
all going to win Academy Awards, but just have fun filming and meet great people.
Well, sure. And I think it's kind of cool that you can say that you didn't end up just specifically typecasted as a horror actor, because I think that's a big thing that a lot of people that they kind of get stuck there once they start there.
Yeah,
And so I guess you kind of got lucky to break out of that.
to branch out. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So what's
That's
your
cool.
favorite of everything you've ever done?
Well, I'll say my favorite is always going to be Power Rangers. It's because it's led to everything as the show has grown big and now hitting 30 years. Now when I'm doing different films and movies, because I've got to, I'm always doing new stuff. You might not see it on this kind of a scope, but you got all these kids that grew up with it that are now directors and young
Yeah.
actors. So when you come on set, they're just like, oh my God, I can't believe so it's pretty cool to see that the impact it's made on so many people all over the world. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and you also did the Resident Evil animated Vendetta.
Uh-huh.
And for people that don't really know, what does that mean to be a motion capture actor?
Well, during the filming of the show or the video game, and the video game took 2 years to do. That's how big those video games are. But the cutaway scenes when the gamer's not playing is filmed just like a movie with actors, staging, set, all that stuff. So, we have those suits on with the balls, and we have this like almost like a football helmet that's got a camera here, so it picks up every facial movement, and it's filmed just like a movie. And then the computers will generate it into the characters. So, yeah, so there's a lot into those scenes that I don't really think people realize.
Yeah.
And then the Matthew Mercer was doing the voice of Leon Kennedy for many years. So Matt will watch the way I deliver the lines, the voice inflections, the pauses, beats, then he has to match that so everything matches the character. So Leon Kennedy is actual two people. And
Yeah.
I did Resident Evil 6, and then I also did Resident Evil Vendetta.
Nice. My
Yeah.
son loves Resident Evil, so he's going to be super excited whenever I tell him that I got to talk
Oh,
to
good.
Like he last year was like, I want my haircut like Leon.
Oh, nice. Well,
So
hopefully he'll be able to come by the event, and I'll make sure to give him a really cool Resident Evil picture that I signed.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that'd be awesome. And remind me again of the date of the event.
It's this Thursday,
Okay,
which is the 21st. This Thursday, the 21st, and I fly in at 4:15. So I'm gonna basically just get to the airport and head right over there. And then I come in. Hopefully I'll get there at 5:30ish. And then I have a bunch of merchandise and pictures that I have available to fans. And they can buy them if they want. If not, no worries. And then I stay until last fan standing. I stay till I meet everybody.
So do you do the pictures with each person, like if they want to take them on their phone, or how does that work?
Yeah, so what we kind of do it like a book signing or like a little mini Comic Con. And the merchandise will all be out on the table. And then yeah, if they want to pick something out, they pay for that and I autograph it. Same thing with the pictures. We have a little combination thing we do. So we make it fun for everybody, and then I spend time with each person. They ask questions, we talk for a bit, and then if they want to purchase something, great. And then I some of these signings have taken 5-6 hours. The one in
Yeah.
London took 7. And then I've had some, depending on how well the word gets out locally, that have only taken a couple hours. So we have a great time, and everybody I meet's gonna have fun, and we try and like make it a little easier to get out to you guys because Comic Cons are expensive. They're hard to get to, the parking, the whole deal. So this way I bring it to their door and it makes it kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure. One of my questions that I always ask everyone that is in music or entertainment almost always is. So with the way that things have changed over your career, what do you see for the future of the business?
Well, well, first of all, I don't think actors should talk politics.
Fair enough.
For starters, I think that that stuff with social media is really frustrated a lot of people, and I'm one of them. Not to be political, but I think some of these people have huge platforms, and when they push things on platforms, and if they're not really educated on this stuff, which how could you be unless you work there? I think
Right.
that frustrates a lot of people, and that pushes people closer to reality shows and non-scripted stuff. So I kind of wish actors would stay out of politics because I think that's bad for the industry, you know.
For sure.
Um, yeah, so that's one thing that I think's affected things a bit. But nowadays, people can film so much content from their phone, from their own stuff. So it's a lot easier to make your own content, which is really cool because back when I first started, you couldn't do anything unless you were granted entrance into the pearly gates of the studio,
Sure.
and now you have some more control to make your own content, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you look at those kind of changes, what advice do you usually give to someone that would want to grow up to do what you do?
Well, be prepared for the long game. I mean, I think there's a misconception that all of us are out here making, $20 million a picture. And the truth is that it's a very, very select few that live that kind of lifestyle.
Hmm.
The whole broke actor is a real thing. And the vast majority of us, I'm lucky, I do well, but the vast majority don't. So you have to be prepared to enjoy doing this because you love it.
Yeah.
And I tell people, you're not trying to base things off of, the money it is. You do it because you work, you meet new people, and that's part of the fun. And hopefully that work gets you future things. Yeah. If you can believe it, when I got Power Rangers, I was doing soap operas, and a lot of people are like, "Don't do Power Rangers; you'll be typecasted." Well, had I not done that, maybe I never would have worked again. So
Well, that
enjoy
kind of makes
enjoy the
it
ride.
special
Yeah,
because
keep working and enjoy the ride.
you hit like three different places that are very easily typecast. Like if you do, if you're doing soap operas, you're a soap opera star, and if you're doing, kids shows, you're kids, or if you're horror, but I mean, you kind of broke that rule.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
done
and
okay.
yeah,
And
I
I
think that's
think,
cool.
yeah, and I think it's cool to kind of measure. It's so easy to get caught up in competing with others and comparing yourself to others. And if you compare yourself to Brad Pitt, you're going to feel like a massive failure. But if you just look at the success you've had and the luck that you've had, and everybody should do this, you start to go, you know what? It's okay. Everything's worked out okay. So
Yeah,
I think that's something that I learned, about a decade ago, and to enjoy your ride and where you are, and let the universe just take over.
yeah, that's definitely great advice.
Yeah.
Um, is there anything that you want people to know about you that you feel like maybe people don't know about you, or um, is just a random thing that maybe they wouldn't know by any other way?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like with social media, they've been following me, so they kind of get a feel for who I am with me as a father, and kind of the way that I'm a little bit silly in the way that I take life on. So I
Hmm.
don't know. I think I mean, good or bad, I think with social media, people kind of already get a feel for who I am. Um, I've got some new projects coming out, which I'm excited about. So there's some cool things that are coming that I'm going to promote. And that I guess people sometimes don't really know that you're working still or doing things. They always say, "Are you still acting?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I've got a new cartoon I'm doing. I got two movies coming out." So
Right.
that I'm still very involved, and that I'm always thankful that everybody supports me when I find that out.
I don't think that a lot of people realize that unless it's, and even in the case of some of the larger budget movies, like movies take time to make.
Yeah,
And the, less of a budget, or really the less you're willing to put into the CGI part, the longer it's going to take for that process. So
that's right.
you guys work for 2 years before something comes out. That doesn't mean you're not working. You've been working for 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And what's funny is that, some of the and well, I guess we already talked about it. It's just being knowing that when you do this, you do it for the love of it. So that the money's not what people don't necessarily think, but
Mhm.
you do it for the fun. So yeah.
Oh. So, are you looking, have you been to Indiana before?
Oh yeah.
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 So is this going to be your first visit to the Comic Carnival?
First visit to Comic Carnival. I did a signing when COVID hit. Myself and Jason David Frank and a couple of others started doing comic book store signings. It was kind of a way that we could help out the mom and pop comic book stores that were struggling, and then also allow us to meet the fans and get out there. And we couldn't work or film or do anything, so we were stuck out here. So I did come through and do a tour through Indiana. I was at the Toy Pit, I think was the name of the one of them.
Okay.
I came through a few of those back, like, a year after COVID was going. And I'll probably come through Indiana Comic Con here one of these times. Oh yeah, I was at Indie Pop Comic Con.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was through there, and then I'll be out there that weekend for a football game to go see the Colts
Okay.
play.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That'll be a cool game. That stadium's been blowing up lately.
I know, right?
Yeah, between Taylor Swift and well, obviously the Colts, and then we got Billy Joel and Sting coming.
Oh wow,
Yeah, so that's
that's
cool.
very cool. It's a beautiful
Yeah,
stadium.
it
Yeah.
really is. I love it. Well, I think I ran out of like the list of all the rando
Yeah,
questions and all that stuff.
it's awesome. You did great.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, and also, a lot of people bring their own merchandise. A lot of
And
times,
that's okay.
yeah. So if you don't have anything to sign, I'm going to have pictures, T-shirts, the official Time Force badges, the morphers.
Nice.
I'll bring a bunch of stuff as much as I can in the one suitcase, and everything comes autographed. Or bring your own merchandise or comic books, and then I can sign that as well.
Yeah.
And then like I said, we spend time with everybody, and we have a great time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and
Yes.
hopefully get everybody come out to see you.
Thank you so much. I look forward to hopefully meeting when I'm there.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I will see you guys this Thursday.
All right. Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.